From the moment the fiery Panamanian intellectual and the hat-wearing Michigan automotive engineer appeared on our screens, they were undeniable television. Jasmine's ferocious intelligence and volcanic emotional eruptions were the perfect foil for Gino's awkward frugality and bewilderingly poor judgment. Their story was a masterclass in car crash reality TV, a spectacle of love, jealousy, and cultural collision that was impossible to look away from. But the on-screen drama has now spilled messily into the real world. The couple is officially separated, and their acrimonious split is playing out across 2 states on social media and in the dark corners of the internet where gossip and rumor reign supreme. Sensational YouTube videos and social media posts have declared an ultimate victory for Gino, weaving elaborate tales of Jasmine being jailed for months, sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and facing imminent deportation. This in-depth report will cut through the noise. We will trace the complete arc of their relationship, from its sugar daddy website origins to its public implosion. We will revisit the key conflicts and turning points, the infamous nude photo scandal, the prenup wars, the cultural clashes that defined their union and sowed the seeds of its destruction. Most importantly, we will provide a clear, fact-based account of where things stand today, dismantling the viral hoaxes and revealing the complex and far more interesting truth of their ongoing saga. This is the complete story of the rise and spectacular fall of Jasmine and Gino, a couple who, for better or worse, have left an indelible mark on the 90-day Fiancé legacy. Part 1. The Digital Romance and the Panamanian Powder Keg. The Genesis, a transactional beginning. Unlike many couples in the franchise who meet through conventional dating apps, Jasmine and Gino's story began on a platform that was far more explicit about its transactional nature. They met on a sugar daddy/sugar baby website, a fact that would hang over their relationship and color the perceptions of both Gino's family and the viewing audience. Gino, a 51-year-old divorcee from Canton, Michigan, was lonely and looking for love. Jasmine, a 34-year-old American literature teacher and single mother in Panama City, Panama, was looking for a partner who could provide a better life for her and her 2 sons. From the outset, the dynamic was clear. Gino was the provider, showering Jasmine with a monthly allowance and gifts. Jasmine was the beautiful, vivacious, and highly intelligent partner who brought excitement and passion into his life. In their early virtual courtship, they appeared to be a perfect match. Gino was smitten by her beauty and intellect, and Jasmine was charmed by his seeming kindness and commitment to providing for her. But the digital screen acted as a buffer, obscuring the volatile realities that would erupt the moment they were in the same physical space. First contact. The electric toothbrush and exploding tempers. Their first in-person meeting in Panama, chronicled on Season 5 of 90-Day Fiancé, Before the 90 Days, was a microcosm of their entire relationship. The initial moments were filled with genuine chemistry and affection. However, the first red flags appeared almost immediately. Gino's first gift to Jasmine was a pack of pregnancy tests and an electric toothbrush, a practical, if deeply unromantic, gesture that baffled and disappointed her. It was an early sign of his now-famous frugality and his often clueless approach to romance. The idyllic vacation quickly devolved. Jasmine's jealousy, a defining trait of their relationship, flared with terrifying intensity. She demanded constant updates on Gino's whereabouts and interrogated him about every interaction with other women, including the waitstaff at restaurants. Her infamous refrain, "I need receipts, I need proof," became a meme, but it revealed a profound and crippling lack of trust. This simmering pot of paranoia and jealousy boiled over in what would become the most iconic and defining scandal of their entire relationship. The original sin, the nude photo scandal, and the ripped hat. The trust that Jasmine so desperately craved was irrevocably shattered when she discovered Gino had committed a shocking act of betrayal. While on a trip, she snooped through his phone and found that he had sent nude, private photos of her to one of his ex-girlfriends. Gino's pathetic defense was that he was merely bragging about how beautiful she was, but for Jasmine, this was an unforgivable violation. The ensuing confrontation was one of the most explosive in 90-day history. In a fit of righteous rage, Jasmine screamed, "You betrayed me," as she lunged at Gino, physically trying to grab him. In the struggle, she snatched the baseball cap from his head, revealing his baldness to the world, a source of deep insecurity he had tried desperately to hide. The image of a furious Jasmine and a stunned, hatless Gino became an indelible symbol of their dysfunctional dynamic. This incident was more than just a dramatic fight. It was the foundational crack in their relationship. It proved to Jasmine that her deepest fears about being betrayed were justified. For Gino, the public humiliation of being exposed, both figuratively and literally, was a profound blow. They would eventually reconcile, with Gino proposing and Jasmine accepting, but the ghost of this betrayal would haunt them forever. It established a pattern of transgression and forgiveness, of deep wounds papered over with passionate declarations of love that would continue until the very end. The trip to Panama, intended to solidify their love, had instead exposed its fatal flaws. Part 2, the K1 Journey and the Michigan Meltdown. From Panama to Canton, a world of difference. Despite the chaos in Panama, the K1 visa was approved, and Jasmine packed her bags for a new life in Michigan. The transition was a brutal culture shock. Jasmine, accustomed to the vibrant, tropical life of Panama City and the financial support that allowed for a certain standard of living, was dropped into the sterile, starkly white-walled reality of Gino's suburban Michigan home. The starkest contrast was Gino's lifestyle. He was, to put it mildly, a penny pincher. Jasmine was horrified by his sad and undecorated house, his refusal to spend money on new clothes for her, and his general lack of desire to invest in their shared environment. Fights erupted over everything from the color of the paint on the walls to the cost of groceries. Gino's argument was always that they needed to save for the future. Jasmine's was that he was refusing to build a life with her in the present. This fundamental conflict over finances was not just about money. It was about their differing love languages and expectations. For Jasmine, spending was an expression of care and commitment. For Gino, saving was an expression of responsibility. The prenup war, a battle of trust and assets. The financial tensions escalated into a full-blown war when Gino introduced the idea of a prenuptial agreement. From a practical standpoint, it made sense. Gino had a retirement fund and a house he wanted to protect for his own family should the marriage fail. But for Jasmine, the prenup was a slap in the face. It was, in her eyes, a formal declaration that Gino did not trust her and was already planning for their divorce. Her reaction was, predictably, explosive. She saw it as a continuation of the disrespect shown in the nude photo scandal. She hired her own lawyer and fought the terms of the agreement fiercely, seeing it as a battle for her dignity. The negotiations were bitter and revealed the deep chasm of distrust that still existed between them. Though they eventually signed the document, allowing the wedding to proceed, the prenup conflict further eroded their already fragile foundation. It confirmed to Jasmine that in Gino's eyes, she was a potential liability to be managed, not an equal partner to be cherished. Meeting the family and the wedding bells. Adding to the pressure was Gino's family. His relatives were deeply skeptical of Jasmine. They were concerned about the transactional nature of their meeting, her fiery temper, which they had witnessed on television, and what they perceived to be her financial demands. They feared Gino was being taken advantage of by a gold digger, a label that infuriated Jasmine, who prided herself on her education and her past career. Despite the endless fighting, the family's disapproval, and the lingering wounds of the past, Jasmine and Gino did get married. Their wedding was a small, quiet affair, a far cry from the lavish celebration Jasmine might have dreamed of. In that moment, there was a glimmer of hope. They had, against all odds, made it to the altar. But the question remained, had they truly resolved any of their core issues, or had they simply kicked the can down the road, dooming their marriage before it even began? Part 3. Happily Ever After? A Marriage on the Brink. The title of the spin-off, 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, proved to be a cruel irony for Jasmine and Gino. Married life did not soothe their troubled dynamic. It only amplified their existing problems. Their time on the show was a painful chronicle of a marriage unraveling in real time. The same old fights, now with higher stakes. The core themes of their conflicts remained unchanged: money, trust, and communication. Jasmine felt isolated and unsupported in Michigan, far from her family and sons. She pushed Gino to spend money on everything from therapy to apartment renovations to bringing her sons to America, all in an effort to build a life she could be happy in. Gino, in turn, resisted, constantly citing the cost and accusing her of being ungrateful. Their arguments became legendary for their cyclical nature and their sheer ferocity. A minor disagreement would quickly escalate into a screaming match, with Jasmine unleashing a torrent of accusations and insults, and Gino shutting down or responding with his trademark, exasperated, "Jesus Christ." The threat of divorce became a weapon, wielded frequently by both parties during their heated exchanges. The intimacy issues and the question of children. Beneath the surface of the financial disputes were deeper issues of intimacy and family planning. Jasmine, eager to solidify their family unit, desperately wanted to have a child with Gino. Gino was hesitant, citing his age and the financial burden. This disagreement became another major point of contention, with Jasmine feeling that his reluctance was yet another sign of his lack of full commitment to their future together. Their sex life also became a public topic of discussion, with Jasmine complaining on national television about Gino's lack of libido and her need for more meat. These deeply personal and often cringeworthy revelations were indicative of a profound disconnect. They were not just fighting about money, they were struggling to connect on the most fundamental levels as a married couple. It became increasingly clear to viewers that love, while perhaps genuinely present in some form, was not enough to overcome their fundamental incompatibilities. Their communication styles were toxic, their values were misaligned, and their inability to rebuild the trust shattered in Panama proved to be a fatal flaw. The marriage was not a partnership. It was a constant power struggle, and both sides were losing. Part 4. The Final Collapse and Public Declaration of War. By 2025, the on-screen drama had reached its inevitable conclusion off-screen. The marriage was over. But instead of a quiet separation, the end of their relationship has been as loud, chaotic, and public as its beginning. The separation and the social media onslaught. Jasmine was the first to take the battle public. In a series of explosive social media posts in June 2025, she announced her intention to take Gino to court, branding him an abuser. She leveled serious accusations, claiming that TLC paid Gino double her salary and that he had kept her share of the money, effectively making her his moneymaker while controlling her financially. This was a direct assault on the narrative that she was a gold digger, flipping the script to portray Gino as the financial manipulator. Gino remained largely silent, but his lawyer began speaking to the press, presenting a very different picture. The stage was set for a public he-said-she-said battle, fought not in the privacy of their home, but in the court of public opinion. The bi-state divorce, a legal quagmire. The legal battle that followed is a reflection of the chaos of their relationship. In a move that highlights their complete lack of communication, both parties filed for divorce in different states. Jasmine filed her petition in Florida in August 2025, the state she had relocated to. After claiming she was unable to serve Gino with the papers in Michigan, she resorted to publishing a notice in a Florida newspaper. However, Gino's attorney, Thomas Quartz, publicly stated that Gino had filed for divorce first, in his home state of Michigan. This race to the courthouse is legally significant. The state where the divorce is ultimately adjudicated can have a major impact on the division of assets and other rulings. As of late 2025, they remain legally married, with two competing divorce proceedings active in two different states, a fittingly complicated end to a complicated union. Part 5. A new love, a new life, and a firestorm of lies. While the divorce proceedings grind on, Jasmine's life has undergone a radical transformation, providing fresh fuel for the public's fascination and creating a breeding ground for rampant misinformation. Jasmine's new chapter, Matt, Matilda, and a move to Florida. Following her separation from Gino, Jasmine began a new relationship with a man named Matt Brownies. In a shocking plot twist revealed on Happily Ever After, she announced that she was pregnant. This development has dramatically changed the narrative. Jasmine has since relocated to Florida with Matt and has given birth to a baby girl named Matilda. This new family unit complicates the divorce immeasurably. Gino's legal team has pointed out that under Michigan law, a child born during a marriage is legally presumed to be the husband's child. This could potentially create bizarre and unintended financial and parental obligations for Gino, adding another layer of legal complexity to an already messy situation. Debunking the misinformation. The jail time hoax. Jasmine's new life and the bitter divorce have created a perfect storm for online gossip channels. A flood of YouTube videos with sensational, clickbait titles have created an entirely false narrative around the split. These videos claim, with feigned authority, that Jasmine has been arrested and jailed for 3 to 5 months. The alleged reasons vary, from contempt of court to failing to pay a massive lawsuit settlement to Gino for fraud and slander. Gino has successfully sued Jasmine for hundreds of thousands of dollars, $750,000 in some versions. These reports claim he won a lawsuit to recoup all the money he spent on her throughout their relationship. Jasmine is facing deportation. This rumor suggests that as a result of the legal battles, she has been kicked out of America. It is crucial to state unequivocally, there is no credible evidence to support any of these claims. No reputable news outlets have reported on an arrest. No public court records indicate any criminal charges or massive civil judgments against Jasmine Pineda. No official sources have confirmed any deportation proceedings. This narrative is a fabrication, a piece of digital fan fiction created for clicks and ad revenue. These YouTube channels operate by blending known facts. The divorce is real, the financial disputes are real, with complete inventions, the arrest, the multi-$100,000 lawsuits, to create a story that is more dramatic than the truth. The ultimate victory for Gino is a manufactured headline, not a legal reality. The real story is not one of a criminal conviction, but of a sad, messy, and expensive divorce. Conclusion: the ash heap of a reality TV romance. The saga of Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo is a cautionary tale about the perils of building a life on a foundation of distrust and incompatibility. They were a magnetic, endlessly watchable couple whose passionate connection was matched only by their capacity to inflict emotional pain on one another. Their love, if it can be called that, was a fire that provided a spectacular light but ultimately consumed everything in its path. What made them so compelling was their raw, unfiltered humanity. Jasmine was not just a fiery Latina stereotype. She was a deeply insecure and intelligent woman terrified of abandonment. Gino was not just a cheap American. He was a lonely man, awkward and out of his depth, who expressed his affection through financial provision because he struggled with emotional intimacy. These videos often allege a series of dramatic events, claiming that Gino Palazzolo has filed multi-$100,000 lawsuits against Jasmine for fraud, slander, and theft. Some reports go as far as to claim Jasmine embezzled $75,000 and was sentenced to several months in prison as a result. 1. These narratives frequently feature dramatic voiceovers, screenshots of social media posts, and speculative analysis, presenting a coherent and compelling, yet ultimately unverified, story of Jasmine's downfall. The claims are specific and severe. One widely circulated rumor suggests Gino sued for the recovery of over $70,000 he claims to have spent on visas, living expenses, and cosmetic procedures for Jasmine. 3. Another narrative spun in these online circles is that Jasmine's arrest was a direct result of a civil complaint and criminal inquiry stemming from Gino's legal actions. 2. Some videos even weave in claims of deportation, suggesting Jasmine was kicked out of America in a dramatic custody battle for. However, despite the confidence with which these assertions are made, they remain entirely within the realm of online gossip. No reputable news outlets, court records, or official law enforcement statements have substantiated any claims of Jasmine Pineda being arrested, charged with a crime, or sentenced to jail time. The evidence presented in these videos is often circumstantial or non-existent, relying on insider sources or interpretations of the couple's on-screen drama. The verifiable reality: a contentious, multi-state divorce. While the incarceration rumors lack factual grounding, the true story of Jasmine and Gino's separation is not without its own high drama. The core of their legal battle is a messy, bi-state divorce proceeding. Recent reports from October 2025 confirm that both parties have filed for divorce, but in different states, creating a jurisdictional tangle. Jasmine Pineda filed her divorce petition in Florida in August 2025, where she currently resides, 5/6. After reportedly making multiple unsuccessful attempts to serve Gino with the papers at his Michigan home, she resorted to publishing a divorce notice in a Florida newspaper to meet legal requirements. Complicating matters, Gino Palazzolo's attorney, Thomas Quartz, has stated that Gino filed for divorce first in his home state of Michigan. This race to the courthouse can be significant in divorce proceedings, as the state where the case is ultimately heard can have different laws regarding asset division and other matters. As of late October 2025, Jasmine and Gino remain legally married until the divorce is finalized, with parallel legal proceedings active in 2 different states. Financial warfare, accusations, and disputes. Central to the divorce are significant financial disputes, which may be the kernel of truth from which the more outlandish lawsuit rumors have grown. Gino's lawyer has publicly claimed that Jasmine owes Gino money. 5-6. The disagreements appear to be tied to funds earned from their multiple appearances on TLC's 90-Day Fiancé franchise. Jasmine, for her part, has leveled her own serious financial allegations against Gino. In June 2025, she took to social media to announce her intention to take Gino to court, accusing him of being an abuser. She claimed that Gino was paid double her salary for filming the show and that he kept her share. Jasmine alleged that Gino brought her to America with the intention of making her his moneymaker and that he, not she, was the villain in their story. These public accusations highlight a deep-seated conflict over earnings and financial control that has been a recurring theme in their on-screen arguments. A new chapter for Jasmine, a new partner, and a pregnancy. The narrative of the split is further complicated by the significant changes in Jasmine's personal life. Following her separation from Gino, she entered a new relationship with a man named Matt Brownies. In a move that shocked many viewers, Jasmine revealed on a September 2025 episode of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, that she and Matt were expecting a child. This pregnancy has introduced another layer of legal complexity to the divorce. According to Gino's legal team, Michigan law presumes that a child born during a marriage is the legal child of the husband. 5. This presumption could create potential financial and parental obligations for Gino, a point his attorney has highlighted. 5. Jasmine has since relocated to Florida with Matt, and the couple has reportedly welcomed a baby girl named Matilda. In interviews, Jasmine has described her relationship with Matt as something she is still navigating, moving from a friendship to a co-parenting reality. The emotional fallout. He said, she said. Beyond the legal and financial battles, the public separation has been marked by a war of words and emotional accusations. Jasmine has referred to Gino as vindictive and expressed sadness over the hateful things he has said about her. She has also voiced regrets about how she handled aspects of their marriage, while simultaneously defending her actions and painting Gino as controlling. Gino, meanwhile, has moved on to dating other people, though his attempts have also been fodder for the show's drama. He has accused Jasmine of cheating on him with Matt before they agreed to an open marriage, a claim she denies. The raw, emotional confrontations that have defined their time on television have continued off-screen, with both parties using social media and interviews to present their side of a painful and public breakup. Conclusion. The verdict on the ultimate victory. The narrative of Jasmine thrown in jail for 3 months, Gino Palazzolo's ultimate victory, is a compelling piece of online drama, but it is a work of fiction. There is no credible evidence to support the claim that Jasmine Pineda has been arrested or incarcerated. The story is a product of sensationalized, monetized online content that preys on the public's appetite for celebrity scandal. The reality is a far more mundane, yet still deeply contentious, celebrity divorce. Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo are entangled in a legal battle spanning 2 states, fighting over money and the terms of their separation. The introduction of a new partner and a baby has added layers of legal and emotional complexity. While Gino may achieve victories in the courtroom regarding financial settlements or jurisdictional disputes, the notion of an ultimate victory through the jailing of his ex-wife is a baseless fabrication. The true ending of their story is yet to be written, not in a jail cell, but in the family courts of Michigan and Florida.